Welcome, everybody. Holy crow. uh, I am happy to be here tonight. Um, I'm glad this month is coming to an end. uh, I guess I should explain why I'm a little more chipper. Last night I slept better than I've slept since well before the power outage, and I made myself a really freaking awesome steak this evening for dinner. So uh, it's either be hyped up a little bit or slip into a food coma, and unfortunately, you guys are stuck with me here tonight. So let's see who's hanging out in the chat. Grish is first, of course.
Josephus
is also here. Here we go with the crown again. Okay. Let's see. I'm not even going to try this time. Okay. Here's the scoop on the whole crown thing. They took it down. Okay, so apparently super chats, super stickers, and all that stuff does count. And I think there's like a $500 maximum you could spend per day to get and keep your crown. You only keep the crown during the single live stream. It doesn't go between them. So that's what I read earlier on the YouTube Studio page. So that's your update. So fight amongst yourselves, and I will just say thank you in advance for your competitive spirit. Uh, so um, uh, so yeah, I'm sure some of you saw my video that I posted yesterday. I made good use of the poo emoji to talk about a Windows decrapification tool. So I thought that was clever planning on my part, but or just opportunistic, I guess, one way or the other. It worked out all right. YouTube is being slow updating the revenue page, so I'm close. I don't think I'm going to hit the threshold this month. It's very silly. Well, that might be. Not the biggest fan of the trap part of the music, but the rest is okay. Well, I got to get another piece of music to use at the beginning. I'm kind of getting sick of listening to that one myself. But then I'd have to update my banner, so maybe I'll work on that tomorrow. I'm programming a soundboard for a complicated concert this week. Very nice. Alonzo, welcome in. TVJ, welcome in. I'm number 3, whatever that means. So the crown thing, it's a ploy by YouTube to get people to participate more in the live chat and all that stuff. And as I was saying earlier, super chats and super stickers do count, so everybody feel free. The steak was pretty good. Um, it was medium well, depending on which part of the steak it was. I wasn't completely disappointed. It's been a while. It's been a long while since I've done a steak on the grill pan, and my grill pan is a little warped now. So I was actually looking at new grill pans today. So, but it was for sitting and seasoning for 2 days in the refrigerator. I was fairly happy with it. I was fairly happy with it. Not sure I'll do the red pepper next time. I think I might stick to the classic black pepper, sea salt, and garlic powder. I was working on my pool and went to Home Depot and spent way too much time there. Well, so would you be more comfortable spending time or spending money there? I guess it's the question. uh, uh, Only 500. Well, yeah, you know, they got to put a limit somewhere, right? Speaking of Windows 11, my desktop and both virtual machines won't support it. Uh, oh, to actually upgrade to Windows 11, you must be on Windows 10 still then. 500 buckaroos. Yeah. Um, yeah, that's the limit YouTube put on it. It's not anything I've got control over. Um, yes, the steak was good. Yes, it's I moved it down lower um because I was noticing that in some of my working with Camtasia, the purple cover for the SM7B um gets the patterns that I use for the backgrounds, especially the moving patterns. So I'm not sure I was real happy with that necessarily on all of them. So I tried to move it down a little bit and um, adjust accordingly. I will be spending money there. I need to replace all my smoke detectors, all 8 of them, at 40 bucks a piece. Holy crow! Those machines are still Windows 10. Um, Can't you add a virtual TPM to the virtual machines? Um, I don't know on XCPNG. On Proxmox, you can. So I just curious, I guess. I was just on another members only stream and it didn't have the crowns. Um, I'm not sure. Well, this is a public stream, so I'm not sure if it's available for members only, or if it's just public streams. Purple Mike going through the pattern thing was kind of distracting. Well, I'm glad I wasn't the only one that noticed it. I thought it was kind of cool at first. I guess if I'm using a purple pattern, just having the different purple colors on it was kind of cool, but or kind of fun, anyways. But I thought that I would at least try to get it down out of the shot, and I guess I could just raise the level of the camera up a little bit too. But that might come later. Good call. Maybe you can have a pencil mic or something. The SM7B actually sounds decent that far away. Joe will probably know best. Now, Grish, don't feed his ego. Yes, I can, but I have to switch to yeah, right, right. Um, and does that require a reinstall because you're doing GPT partitions instead of um uh the other one? I don't know. Yeah, this is public. This is public. Um, okay, so maybe there were crowns on the member stream. Um, oh well. Well, I'm glad this sounds okay coming through StreamYard. I did leave the gate turned on the Roadcaster Duo. I dialed in the level of the gate just a little bit from when I recorded that sample clip earlier, but I think I think it sounds, at least to me, it sounds pretty decent. Um, okay, that's unfortunate, but I guess it's the way of the future or something. Oh my, I don't know. Um, I see crowns on my Android app. Speaking of Android, Android 16 is coming out next week. And since I've got a Pixel phone, I'll get it next week. Everybody else on a Samsung or whatever type of phone is going to have to wait. uh, could be wrong. I need to research it. That's fair. That's fair. I haven't done the upgrade, so um oh, excuse me. Um so yeah, today has gone pretty well. I was able to get I've got to put another load of laundry in the dryer, but that will get me through 3 loads. I'll have to do one more tomorrow, and I will be caught up for a while. Um, Finally getting completely caught up after the whole power outage thing. Um, and yeah, the steak was sort of my treat for myself after that whole debacle. Since I had to throw out everything in my refrigerator, I thought, well, I haven't had a steak in a good while. I'm gonna get a nice, and it was a thick, like a half-inch thick steak too. I was gonna get myself a nice steak. Um, I actually ate the steak by itself. I didn't even have potato salad with it tonight, which was my original plan. But I had a ham sandwich and potato salad for lunch. So, um, yeah, I've got a pound of hamburger in the refrigerator, and tomorrow I'm going to make tacos. So, um, yeah, I'm kind of stoked about that. Um, I'm pretty happy with the way things are um, falling into place, and I'm ready to start a new month, and um, I was thinking about the goal that I had talked about before, right? So June having 30 days, I wanted to set the goal at 25 pieces of video content for the month. This is counting long form live and streaming, or long form live and shorts, right? Well, so looking at my and today's the 31st, so I need to put a one in live, and I need to put one in shorts, because I did post a short earlier. So that puts me at 48 pieces of content for May. So I think 25 for June is low. Um, so I will be rethinking that tonight and tomorrow, and potentially making some sort of an announcement, provided I do a live stream tomorrow night, which more than likely I will. But since we're live now, I'm not going to 100% commit to that. Um, but yeah, things are, I think, falling into place a little bit better now. And um, today I spent a good amount of time cleaning, but I was also doing digital cleaning too. I was moving files off the solid state drive in my Mac Mini, which was again getting to the point where it was over 50% full of a 1 terabyte SSD. Uh, and so I thought, all right, well, it's time. And so I took a bunch of stuff from the previous like 3 years off the main drive, so that I had a little bit more headroom, shall we say. uh, so there's supposed to be a bit of a redesign, some look and feel stuff that's going to be updated. As far as under the hood features, I don't have anything in particular I'm looking forward to, but I'm curious to see what it's going to bring. I don't know as I'm actually going to push my update Tuesday or whatever it launches this week, but I'll at least be reading uh, further details about it. I first have to stop my second server from booting ESXi. That's fair. YouTube Music Portal, welcome. I have a big box of hard drives that I need to prune. Uh-huh. Um, so when I was teaching IT courses, we had the classroom I taught in had um, what were they? They were Lenovo tower units that had removable hard drive bays in them. Well, so the initial IT manager there was kind of a prick. I'll just say that he was kind of a prick. And so I went one whole week that I was supposed to be teaching and doing hands-on exercises, um, with no hard drives to boot the computers, because they were being updated. So I took matters into my own hands, and I ended up ordering I mean, this was years ago. I think they were 250 gig hard drives off from eBay. Somebody was selling like 6 or 8 of them in a lot. And then I ended up getting one of those extra thick Pelican cases that was specifically made to slot 3.5-inch hard drives in it. I've actually got the case in the other room. Um, and so for a while there, because the hard drives that the school owned weren't available, uh, I would bring in hard drives, and the students would be able to install Windows and do all the things that they needed to do for the class while we waited. But um, yeah, I think most of those drives have crapped out on me by now. If I've even got them still around. I don't think there's that many drives left in the Pelican case at this point. um, so, um, I need to clean more of my IT gear. Yeah, I understand. I'm trying to downsize some of what I've got as well. Um, yeah, it's it's interesting being in the field, and it's one of those things where you get started and you're very protective about your computer because it's the only computer you've got, and so you do everything in your power to keep it running. And now I've got so doggone many computers, not to mention the virtual machines, that it's there are days it feels like a chore just keeping all of them updated and running smoothly. In addition to doing, copying data off my drive built into the Mac Mini off to one of the NAS box, and I also spent time updating servers and things today. So it's always something, and you, you know, uh, yeah, it is what it is. Just saying, I've been busy not watching much, but will always return. Well, welcome back. It's nice to see you. Um, Thinking of buying some used SAS drives to help me offload and consolidate. Um, yeah, data I have on other drives. Right, right, right. I relate with managing devices, VM, and data so much local business. Yep, yep. Yeah, I suspected you meant that. I suppose I could turn this guy on just for the sake of argument, and I still don't. Oh, that's new. Can that be moved now? No, no. I thought maybe they had tweaked their beta and allowed it to be moved now, but I think that's just the full screen view on that. So yeah. Um, the idea behind tonight's stream was just to try to finish the month on as much of a high note as possible. I think I'm going to be just shy of where I want to be for the month, revenue wise, but that's all right. I'm satisfied with the way things kept fairly even when I had no power, right? And maybe the shorts helped during that time. I'm not entirely sure. I'm still not sold on shorts, but um, I'm getting um, more of a rhythm going as far as releasing them and doing them on slightly different topics than I would cover in a live stream or a long form video. So you're going to see that I will probably be publishing more Windows related stuff as shorts, because let's face it, the vast majority of people out there run Windows, whether they have to for work or excuse me, or whether they actually prefer Windows. And if the largest population is running Windows, they're probably also watching shorts. So fine, I'll play the game, and that's the way I'm sort of viewing things right now. Is that it's a game, and you've got to play to win, right? You can't win the lottery if you don't buy a ticket, right? So I'm trying to change my perception of things just a bit, um, and play the game. So I'm not abandoning Linux in any way. I'm not giving up on doing Linux content. I still want that to be my primary focus on this channel. But if I need to diversify to some extent to reap the benefits, I'm never going to be a Gary V. I'm never going to be a Shannon Morse or a Leo Laporte when it comes to YouTube, or Darren Kitchen for that matter. But can I learn from their angle on stuff? Sure. And I I couldn't do it without all of you, and I appreciate your support. I probably don't say that enough, so um, I am grateful to have the community I do around my YouTube channel. I want to continue to grow that community. Um, but several of you have been with the channel multiple years, and I very much appreciate that. And hopefully you'll stick around as the channel grows bigger. And you know we'll see where it leads. There are some interesting things coming. um I completely I was completely derailed on the fog video project. I was really excited about that at the beginning of the month, and the power outage kind of derailed my plans, and I was in a little bit of a funk there for a minute. I'll admit that I wasn't in the best headspace, shall we say. Um, so I'm just thankful that that issue is behind us, and hopefully June will be a better month. I'm looking forward to going back and being able to do the fog video. It may be a two-parter, maybe a three-parter, um, but it will, in fact, come out. So there was a little bit of a teaser earlier in the month. There were two videos. One published as just members only. One was meant to be published members only, but it ended up I screwed it up and it went public. So that's kind of where we're at. I'm optimistic. I'm trying very hard to be optimistic. It's not my nature to be that optimistic, but I'm feeling pretty good about it. Um, I think some of the capabilities that Camtasia and Audiate um, allow me are making me more excited about approaching things from a slightly different angle. So yeah, that's kind of my spiel for tonight. I'm just happy to see things moving forward again. I feel pretty good after, well, it'll be a week tomorrow that I'll have had Camtasia. I think with the adjustments that I've made, and thank you to Jay and Joe Cephas and Tony for taking the time to listen to some sample audio and giving me feedback on that today. Um, it's definitely a little bit different workflow than what ScreenFlow was, I'll admit, but hopefully this will be for the better in the long run. Um, and if things aren't up to snuff, I hope that people will tell me in a constructive manner, please. Um, just saying your audio sucks doesn't help anything. And trust me, there was a time I did receive those types of messages. And that's where the Shure SM7B came into play. And now the Rodecaster Duo, and things are starting to it's actually starting to feel like almost a studio type of thing, right? um let's see. Glad you're over your funk. On a side note, what do you think of Void Linux? I think it's an interesting project. I haven't actually tried it myself. It sounds interesting. What Camtasia features and options would those be? So, um, that's a great question. Thank you for that. Um, do I have Camtasia running? I do have Camtasia running. Um, let me move to this screen. All right. So, recent projects. So I was uh going back today, and I thought, okay, well, I want to take a second stab at re-editing this. This was sort of a webinar type thing that I did last year, and I'd made a couple of previous attempts at editing this down, and I was never really happy with it. So I grabbed the file again off from StreamYard, and um, as you can see, I've added the caption track to it, which I wasn't as easily able to do before. Um, but some of the things that uh, Camtasia offers. Now, I got their top package for a year. And again, like I've said before, the goal is to put out enough content in the next year to make it worth getting it for the following year, right? Um, so with the premium version, I not only get access to the library here of prepackaged assets, they call them, in their library. So it's got things like counters um, that you can use that are, you just set the parameters and it will put a counter in. There's audio visualizers. There's all kinds of different music and sound effects and different things of that nature. In addition to their titles. And one of the things that is really interesting to me, and this isn't a good project to demonstrate that. So let's see if we come here. This is a video I released yesterday, or a version of it. And I didn't label my tracks, of course. So one thing you can do, let me scrub through this a little bit. Okay. So if we come into this section, just for the sake of argument, one of the things that Camtasia does really well, since they are geared more as a corporate training screencast type of video editor, that's like the strongest point, or one of the strongest points of it. I can take and say I want to make the cursor glow. I can do it just that easy. I can put on, this is the one I like, the left mouse click. So I can add that. I don't like their stock duration. I normally should take that down to, I think, 0.5, and I make it 2 rings instead of 3. And see if it's going to prompt to create a restore point. So we're going to let it do that. So as you can see, it's got the rings when I do a left click. So that's one of the things. You can add annotations and animations. So that's kind of cool. It also lets you do like a brand, or, well, actually you can do multiple brands. So for instance, if I were to take this speech bubble here, I can select the practical IT theme, and now it's going to be purple instead of that orangey, peachy color. So those are just a few of the things that I can easily do. There are also, what is it under? Is it visual effects? I don't know. I'm still learning the interface, but it also lets you do, if you want to put a box around it, it will actually animate like drawing, like a hand-drawn box around something, to give it extra emphasis. Just little things like that that either weren't available in ScreenFlow or didn't work as simply in ScreenFlow. There was a lot you could accomplish with ScreenFlow, don't get me wrong, but sometimes to get the effect I wanted, it was an extra 20 minutes worth of work to set everything up. And this so far has made things a lot easier, but you consider that ScreenFlow hasn't had an update since 2021, and are not a major update anyways. They had a couple of point releases, but not a major release since 2021. And let's just face it, software development has moved on from where it was in 2021. So the other thing that is cool is if I um, select part of the audio track, I can say edit and audiate. So we'll save this. It's going to launch Audiate, which is sort of a companion program. It comes as part of the package for the premium Camtasia package. But what this will do is it takes a minute. What this will do is this allows you to say you want to silence all hesitations. And you can also see it says it's got 20 pauses. So let's say we shorten pauses. So if it's greater than 1 second, we'll make it half a second. So it's going to process that, and it's still got 3 suggested. But you can then sync this back to Camtasia. It also has a translate feature, so I could generate a caption track that I could upload into YouTube for another language. Now, I don't speak any other language, so I can't really say how accurate it would be. But the option does exist. The other things you can do here in Audiate is it's got the effects that you can put on it. And so you've got noise removal, an equalizer, and everything you see on screen there. Which does go beyond what you can do in Camtasia proper. But at the moment, I'm not really futzing with those too much. So I'm going to quit out of this. I'm going to say quit without saving. Media unlinked. That's fine. So anyways, that's in a nutshell what is compelling to me about Camtasia at this point. It's not been a full week yet. So, in 3 months, I might give you a different list. I might give you a different list. Oh, look at that. My chat is over top of my head. Whoops. Oh, well. Gotta have one screw up in every stream, right? Tara, welcome. I wasn't really paying attention to that. I got on a roll talking about Camtasia. And here we are. Yeah, I've had more fun playing with Camtasia this week than I think I've had in a long time when it comes to editing. And yes, there is value to doing things the difficult way to start off with. And if it doesn't scare you away, then my personal opinion is that it makes you more appreciate the tools that you do acquire, right? To then make things easier. And I still don't think I'm ever going to be the best video editor out there, but that's not where my passion is. My passion is in making content, not the editing process itself. And it's one of those things. I find it interesting. There's a movie either out right now or is going to be coming out soon that they shot it entirely with an iPhone, and they actually had a rig custom built, sort of in a crescent moon shape, so they could have like 20 iPhones to get some of the angles that they wanted and for the scenes that they wanted to create. So it's like we're in an interesting place as far as technology goes. And it's funny. A few years ago, I thought things were kind of getting boring and stagnating to some extent. And we went from a plateau to a sharp incline, like you're going up a hill on a roller coaster. Because let's face it, that's what this all is, right? It's one giant roller coaster, up and down, and doing loops and crazy stuff. So, yes, it does. Yeah, I'm pretty I'm pretty well sold on the product now. It's taken, having it once and not being able to grok it, and then going through a couple of iterations of, 30-day trials to really get to the point where, okay, I've got to draw a line in the sand. This fits the type of content that I want to make. This is the tool I want to go for. And it's I'm not looking to make the next Star Wars or the next Clerks even. And so it's like this just fit for me. So, and I like the idea of um supporting a local company as well. And TechSmith is within a 20-minute drive from me, depending on traffic. Might get there faster with low traffic, but anyways. Yeah, like I said, this is the most fun I've had in a while. And sure, I'm probably going to have a few videos where you're all going to be thinking, man, he's using too many effects and it's kind of annoying. And this too shall pass. Um, but my quest right now is to try to find an approach that does the content justice, uses some subset of features that Camtasia offers, and doesn't take me a week to produce a single piece of content. So, think of it as a three-circle Venn diagram, and I'm trying to find that sweet spot, right? Um, Everybody hopefully can imagine what a Venn diagram looks like. um, Mallrats was better than Clerks, but my favorite was Dogma. Yes. And did you hear that Kevin Smith is going to be putting out a 4K Steelbook edition of Dogma? I think actually Clerks 2 is my second favorite movie after Dogma, um, because it was just so far out there. And then Chasing Amy comes in at number 3, and this will be an unpopular opinion, but hear me out. Jersey Girl, and only because it's got George Carlin in it. George Carlin was great in that movie, even though the movie overall kind of sucked. Um, uh, cool. I'm looking forward to getting the 4K version of Dogma. I had my copy of Dogma sitting right here. I think I took it downstairs earlier today. Sorry. I literally had it within arm's length of me. So, anyway, um, not sure how long my voice is going to hold out today. Um, I was, as I mentioned, I was doing some cleaning today, and I stirred up some dust, so I've got kind of some head stuff going on thanks to the dust. And I did take my allergy pill beforehand, but um, it might not have been enough. So, um, yeah, that's where we're at. Uh, I'm looking forward to getting some content out, or at least recorded tomorrow, and be able to release during the week. I'm hoping to do like half a dozen shorts um, tomorrow morning, and maybe release one of them tomorrow, and then on days that I don't release a long form or live stream, then I'll release like 2 shorts. But if I'm going to live stream in the evening, then I'll probably only release 1 short on those days. It's all this balancing act, right? I've got to find sort of a sweet spot where I can um, not completely neglect my other household cleaning duties in order to just make content. Um, Now, if YouTube paid me enough where I could afford to hire a cleaning service to come in, then fine, I'd sit my ass in the chair and make content all day. But that's unfortunately not the case right now, and so you're just gonna have to bear with me while I find the proverbial sweet spot for content creation, right? Um, um, who would bless their clubs? Are you getting the smoke from the Canadian wildfires? It was bad up here yesterday. I've not noticed smoke, but I was into a bunch of dust earlier today. Um, there were some places that I'd not given a good thorough cleaning in a good while, and I decided to be a little overzealous and tackle those today while laundry was going on, and ended up stirring up a good amount of dust, and just um, not pleasant. But I will say, excuse me, I will say, last night I slept better than I have probably in 2.5 or 3 weeks. I was up until 1:30 this morning, and then I actually went and slept in the bed instead of falling asleep in the chair. So that was different. Um, so hopefully it's going to be something that will continue on going into June, and things will sort of level out. So anyway, I'm that's kind of in a nutshell where I'm at the moment. Um, I actually did not take sleep gummies. I've never had sleep gummies. I've had THC type gummies when I've been in Illinois. Um, that my friends down there were so gracious to uh, supply to me. And they definitely make for some good sleeping afterwards, but I've not invested in any up here. I'm hoping that maybe in the next paycheck I get, so in next week, I may go to the dispensary store and pick up something to help me chill out next weekend. I think that would be interesting, and maybe make for a fun member stream if I pop a couple of those right before the stream starts. So, but yeah, things I think are stabilizing around here. I feel pretty good about the cleaning I got done today, and just um, in the last week, I've been feeling a little more up and optimistic, which not really in my typical nature to be this optimistic about things, but I'm making an effort, and maybe it will, maybe it'll stick. Um, YouTube, I may need them. Last 2 nights, I've woke up at 3 a.m. and can't fall back asleep. I'll have to watch for that stream. So, um, yeah, I've had several mornings this week where I was up at 5, like wide awake at 5 a.m. or 4:30, and awake at 4:30, and decide that by 5 that I'm not going to get back to sleep. And this morning I actually slept in until 7:30, and it's like, whoa, that's like different, but it's all right. It's all right. I will uh I will take it at this point. Um so let me save that. And once that finally quits, I'll come back over here. Actually, I want to check one thing. Um yeah, that's eating through the swap at this point. Um, so there was one piece of software that I did kind of want to show, and I'm not completely thrilled with this, but I'll show it anyways. So this is a piece of software, at least the Mac version. It runs as a local website on your machine, which that was the part I wasn't thrilled about. Um, but this will sort of learn your activities, and it will give you sort of a summary on what you've been doing on your computer. Um, So it'll give you a timeline and different things of that nature. It does show away from keyboard, and different things of that nature. So if we do 12 hours, that goes back before I actually installed this. But allegedly, after a few days, it will sort of start seeing your patterns of what activities you undertake and what applications you're running. So Chrome, Firefox, Camtasia, Finder, and Daisy Disk. Um, there's LibreOffice, Audiate, and VLC. So it gives you some interesting um, information about what you're doing on the computer. So anyway, I thought it was kind of an interesting concept. Um, I'm not sure that I'm necessarily going to keep this long term, but uh, I'm going to let it run for a week and see if there's any insights I gained from this. I believe this is available for um, yes, Activity Watch, open source time tracker. Let's just go downloads. It is available for Windows, Mac OS, Linux, and Android. Um, and I think the reason it installed the way it did on Mac OS is because I used Homebrew, which I like doing, but in this case, I may have been better off using the DMG. Eh, it happens, right? Um, but yeah, it's kind of an interesting project. Like I said, I'm going to let it run for a week and see, what type of uh, insights I might gain from this tool. So, um, yeah, it has definitely improved my mood today, getting a couple extra hours of sleep. I did drink a whole pot of coffee this morning too. I believe it was gone before 10 a.m. And so that's like all the caffeine I've had to push me through the day. And um, I finished off a little bit of Sprite that I had, and I've got some Fago Rock and Rye, which if you know, you know. We'll just put it that way. I would bet money that Terrell has probably encountered Fago Rock and Rye before, but I can't speak for the rest of you. Um, so we're an hour and 5 minutes in. Uh, does anybody have any questions, comments, suggestions? I'm at the end of what I had intended on talking about tonight. So, um, if nobody has anything, then I'll just wrap this early. But I at least wanted to get on and have a little bit of a conversation tonight, and just kind of give an update where I'm coming from and my thoughts going forward. Um, one feature that I didn't mention that Camtasia has that I don't believe I can use through YouTube. But if I host my videos somewhere else, I may be able to make use of this feature, but you can embed quizzes into a Camtasia video. And I believe they use a special player to be able to have people able to interact with those quizzes. But that's a feature I have not uh, encountered how to build it myself yet. I have, since I went through the Camtasia certification process, um, which I did actually print my Camtasia certification here. I guess that's sort of focusing. Anyways, um, in their training videos, you would go so many videos and then you'd have a quiz. And you had to get an 80% or better on each quiz to pass the certification. So, uh, my thought is that when I either redo the Linux course or add a new course, I still eventually want to redo that Linux course. I'm not happy with it. Um, but I will be able to put quizzes directly into the videos or build a video quiz, I guess, technically. Um, and incorporate that into the training. So I think that will be fun, and it will, if nothing else, if nothing else, then if I were to go to another job where I might have to use Camtasia on a professional basis, I would at least know how to use more of the features. Because I mean, let's face it, I'm there's going to be a subset of features I will use on a regular basis. Everything else is nice to know about, but I'm not going to use every feature in every video, right? Uh, let's see. Yes, if you're from Michigan, you know. uh, hope you don't have another repeat tonight. Yeah. My favorite Fago is the blackberry. I'm not sure I've ever had the blackberry. Now, only if Camtasia had live stuff. Yeah, that. I mean, I wish it did, but um, that's another issue I'll have to address. But I got a couple months left before I absolutely have to address it. So I'm going to run that time a little bit longer and probably make a switch in July and just draw a line in the sand with StreamYard at that point and move to another product. Um, Never liked school, don't like tests or quizzes. I'm not real fond of them myself, but I know people expect them in a class type of thing. Yeah. Hope you are getting some good sleep after your recent ordeal. Uh Try to stay awake during the day. Oh, correct. It was supposed to be black cherry. Black cherry I have had. I don't see it very often, but I have had that at least a couple of times. Um, so anyway, on that note, we're I'm not sure what we topped out at, but we are down to only 5 people here now. I want to give this another reload and see if it has updated. Um, nope. So my revenue graph only shows through Thursday. So I don't know what uh, it did yesterday. And obviously today I won't know until tomorrow night or Monday. I suspect I'll be over $90, but short of 100 for the month, which considering that I basically lost a week, um, in the grand scheme of things, that's not that bad. So I'm not going to lose sleep over it. You know, these keep getting worse and worse. Okay, since everybody needs a laugh tonight, um, do all of you get contacted from South African business tycoons and get iCloud? Your cloud storage is full, and cloud is an acronym. It's got periods um, after each letter, and then in cloud I see cloud HF. Your storage full. Your cloud storage is completely full, um, and your payment method has expired. I mean, I've got some previously that actually said iCloud, which I've disabled iCloud. I don't use iCloud. So those all just get deleted. I don't even bother reporting them as phishing anymore. It hasn't done any good. Oh my. So, um yep, I think that's it for tonight. Um all right. Well, on that note, everybody have a great night. Uh, thank you all for being here. I appreciate the support. It's definitely made the recent ordeal I encountered easier to take, even though my mental state was a little touch and go there for a minute. Um, I do appreciate all the support people have been so generously given me in one way or another, even if it's just to listen to me vent. Sometimes, um, sometimes that's all you need is somebody to act as a sounding board and let you get things off your chest. And so, on that note, have a good night. And tomorrow starts a new month. Let's make the best of it. Good night, Terrell. And Grish, you're very welcome. Thank you again for being here. And I'll probably be back tomorrow night because, hey, it's a new month and I got to get live streaming at the beginning, right? See you tomorrow.